Matvei Gridin is ready. Based off of his recent comments echoed by Calgary Flames head coach Ryan Huska, the kid is oozing confidence and can't wait to get next season started. The future is bright in Calgary with Griddy, but we can't forget about Zayne Parekh too. We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and he is most certainly ready. Hit a little gritty because we're talking Matvei Gridin here to start things off. And there's one specific quote that's kind of going viral on Flames social media right now, and it is this bad boy right here. So Ryan Huska was on the Fan 960 talking about Matvei Gridin, and this is what he had to say. He said, he looked at me and said, I'm going to lead the team in scoring next year with a straight face. If that doesn't ooze confidence like I said in the intro, then I don't know what does. There's different ways to take this. The good way to take it, the way you should take it, is that he's super confident and he knows how good he can be. The other side is you can kind of look at it and say, wow, he might be the best player on a really bad team. It's not going to be all that hard to lead this team in scoring next year. I mean, all it took was 45 points this year. What's it going to take next year? 50? But no, there's certain ways to take it, obviously, but only taking it in a positive way. So happy that Gridin has this attitude of just confidence, knows what he can do, and knows that he's a really good player out of nowhere. And I tried to find a really good write-up of kind of what was said, and I found a good one here from Nathan Smith. So Nathan Smith writes, Matvei Gridin shows his confidence with statement to Calgary Flames coach Ryan Huska. Don't know why I struggled so much to read that one, and I'm struggling to talk. My goodness, must have been a long day at work. It was. But either way, since being recalled, Gridin appeared in 33 games, tallying 5 goals and 19 points in that stretch, and once he found his chemistry with Matt Coronato and Morgan Frost, he turned into a completely different player. And that is kind of the key part of this whole write-up for me. He actually found some chemistry on a team where the lines change every single game. But with Matty Coronato and Frosty, it really seemed like those three became, the most exciting line for sure on the Flames, but the most productive, the most fun to watch, and one that gave you hope for the future since they'll all be around for at least a little bit longer. So some of that stems from talent and the team around him, but plenty of it comes from pure confidence, something that Gridin has oozed since arriving in the NHL. The word of the day just has to be ooze/oozing. Take it whichever way you want. Now, head coach Ryan Huska has joined Sportsnet 960 to chat about the season that was and the future, and one of the main topics that came up was his talented young winger. In talking about Gridin, Huska reveals the extent of Gridin's confidence, noting this one conversation he had with the 20-year-old following the season. Here's the quote again. He looked at me and said, I'm going to lead the team in scoring next year with a straight face. With a straight face is key too. That just shows the confidence. He's not joking around. This season, Gridin was among the Flames' top point scorers since his return to the team, and with another year of confidence and experience under his belt, there's no reason to doubt that he can indeed achieve what he said he can. Obviously, the Flames need much more than Gridin if this rebuild is to be a success, but with him leading the way along with some of their other top talent, it's easy to see why the Flames are happy with how things are currently going. And that's true. To me, it really seems like Gridin is not only ready for next season to start, but he's ready to kind of be the top dog of this team. A lot of people in the comment section of this channel say that Gridin is kind of the face of this rebuild. Not Parekh, not Wolf, not one of the other guys like Coronato or anyone. And maybe it will end up being whoever we draft this year or someone further or one of our current prospects. But Gridin just seems so ready to kind of be, an offensive leader for this team that very desperately obviously needs it. And I couldn't be happier to hear this. I believe Gridin might have also spoken to the Fan 960. I didn't actually listen to it myself, but if you did, feel free to let me know if he said anything good. If not, I'm sure Huska had a lot more to say on Gridin. But either way, super, super happy to hear all this for Griddy and just so happy that he's a part of our team and a part of our future. Now, another guy who's a part of our future is, of course, Zayne Parekh. So we got to talk about Zayne Too, because on the same day that this whole Gridin thing has happened, this article came out from Daniel Austin of the Calgary Herald, writing, Zayne Parekh's post-deadline run suggests next season could be fun. Quote here, ever since the deadline, I feel like I've been getting better every game, Parekh said. And I think Most people will agree with that. So if you were kind of down in the dumps today, maybe you're going to watch some playoff hockey and be sad that the Flames aren't in it. Look, the future looks so bright thinking about Gridin and Parekh too. And I'm not going to go over this entire article. Please feel free to go read the whole thing, but I'm going to take some key parts. So again, that quote. Ever since the deadline, I feel like I've been getting better every game, Parekh said. I know it hasn't been the best season, but I wouldn't say it's been a bad one at all. I think I've learned a lot and learned how to be a pro and have taken big strides. And I think anyone who actually watched the Flames down the stretch will 100% agree. Not only did the production go up at least a little bit, but you could just see how much more confident he was out there. The skating, less turnovers, better in his own end. It was just so much better. He continued, obviously, I wanted to come in at the start of the season and be successful right away and not have to go through that struggle that I did for the first half, but those growing pains are good, and that's so true. How else are you going to get better? How else are you going to improve if you aren't making mistakes, obviously? It's just a rule of thumb for life. So development was the focus for Parekh this year. He was too young to play in the AHL outside of a rehab stint, had signed a pro contract, so wasn't eligible to play in the NCAA, my goodness. And after tearing apart the OHL last season, there was no reason for him to return for another stint with the Saginaw Spirit. That meant he made the jump straight from junior into the NHL, and it was never reasonable to expect that to be an easy transition. Evaluating Parekh's season was always going to be more about his growth as a player than about his numbers, and by that metric, it was an encouraging year, and it really was. If those improvements carry into next year, it could be a very fun season for the 9th overall pick in the 2024 NHL Draft. Coach Huska, he got involved too, not only talking about Gridin, he's talking about Zayne too. He said, I think you want to see him pick up where he's left off, said Flames head coach Ryan Huska. Over the course of the year, he's had some dips and ups and downs all over the place, but by the end of it, he flattened those out and still ended up better compared to where he started. And he absolutely did. Again, anyone who watched knows that was evident. I want him to have a good summer as far as building some strength onto his frame. That's going to allow him to come back feeling more confident that he can handle some of the heavier games that he's going to have to play against, harder forechecks, that he can spin off and do all the things he can do. Putting on muscle is a pretty common goal for every young player, so it's no surprise that it gets talked about a lot as a goal for Parekh this summer. He took some big hits, especially early in the year, and is officially listed at 6 foot, 179 pounds. So in no means is that necessarily small, but there's a lot of room to put on some muscle. If you're geared in the right way, where you're almost an animal in the summer, you're setting yourself up to make sure when we come into our first training camp practice, you're the best player on the ice, Huska said. That's what I want to see from him. I want to see him put his foot down. I want him to come back with the swagger I saw from him and come back with the detail and understanding of the game that he built up over the course of the season this year, where he did a lot of really good things. It's picking up where we left off. And that's the most you can expect out of Zayne this summer. He's still young. I'm sure he's going to go to Stampede. I always see on his Instagram story that he's at Stampede, but sounds like it'll be a big summer for him. Really, it's not even transitioning into being a pro anymore. It's living as a professional. And obviously, the summers are very big for professional athletes as well, to stay in shape, make sure you're still skating, and to obviously come back hopefully better than he was at the end of this year. But either way, again, so stoked for the future with both Parekh and, of course, Gridin, and I'll never get tired about talking about just optimism and hope for the future, even if it never pans out. That's how you gotta live, or else you're gonna be a very miserable person. Now, let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. Comes from yesterday's video, of course, and this is a good one here from Wheel of Time saying, just sign Lomberg and only play him against Edmonton. It is a dilemma. Do you sign Lomberg? Do you let him go? There's pros and cons either side, but yeah, sign him so he can just play Edmonton. I think all parties would be happy. He can take the league minimum. That's totally fine. Maybe even on a two-way contract so he can just actually play with the Wranglers or something too. Not that's what he wants to do. I'm sure he wants to play in the NHL, but either way, that would be hilarious. Seems like he always turns it on against Edmonton. We need that, obviously, feistiness from him, but either way, good comment there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.